Namaste, 10th standard. Today we will just discuss moral action. So this lesson was written by M.K. Gandhi, that is Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Before going into the lesson, before discussing the lesson, I would like to read about Mahatma Gandhi ji and his works and his book, that is My Experiments with the Truth. This is autobiography of Mahatma Gandhi ji. So it is suggested that you should read this autobiography. It is well and nice. So to start with, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, 1869 to 1948. To the millions of Indians, Mahatma Gandhi was the greatest contemporary Indians and certainly one of the great men of all times. He was the mightiest force in the Indian political scene for nearly half a century and remained the profoundest influence on all areas of public life. His method of non-violence and truth won freedom for India without bloodshed and demonstrated to the modern man how love is more powerful than nuclear bombs. Proper to the man's ideas, Gandhiji's lives and work are an open book. Gandhiji wrote and spoke tirelessly, using his characteristic charm and simplicity, for which his autobiography is the finest example. So, the autobiography of Mohanchand Karamchand Gandhi is My Experiments with Truth. I tell you personally that I have read this book, his autobiography. It is a good piece to be read, and you get a lot of information, and you can inculcate so many things from this autobiography. So, let's come to the lesson moral action. So, with regard to the moral action, what actions can be called moral? So, we live in the society. When we live in the society, we need to behave well according to the dogmas of the society. So, sometimes what we do, we just flow in the water. We flow in the current. We do not understand what we are doing is correct or not. We just automatically do or mechanically do some work that is just done by others. We don't know whether we don't have such intention. Sometimes we do some actions that we don't have such intention, but we does that. But on the other hand, see, only those actions can be called moral actions, so where there is a good intention behind doing that action. So that only can be called moral action. Only those actions where the intention of doing good without any selfish motive, if you are doing any good thing to others, that is called moral action. So here a definition is there. A particular action is moral when the intention is clear. So intention should be clear and free from selfish motives. There should not be any selfishness in our action. So then a moral action must be personal. One springs from one's own determination. So no one should force you to do any action. So it should not be from that somebody encourages you to do such actions. No, it is not a moral action. It should come from within you should think of it. It should be initiated from your own. Your consciousness should tell this is correct and that you should do. Then there is a major difference between acting automatically and acting intentionally. So there are so many works. We get up in the morning, we just pray to God and start our work. Now, getting up early in the morning, whether the intention is to pray and for healthy reasons we get up, then the action is moral. If we get up early in the morning thinking that that it is said by our elders, by our teachers, that you should get up early in the morning, then it is not a moral action. So this is the difference. Next, any action we perform should have good intention behind it. So intention of any action is very important here. So intention of doing any good work should be good. So that is a moral action. What is immoral action? Against the moral action, that is immoral action. There is another part of it, that is non-moral action. We sometimes, I just told you the example of praying to the, getting early in the morning and praying to the God. So this is usually some people do it mechanically, not because that there is some, they do it intentionally, but it is mechanically. They just go on doing it. It has become a habit of doing. So they do it. So these are the main points of this lesson, in the 2 paragraphs of this lesson, because I am going to deal only 2 paragraphs. It is very difficult to understand. As I have seen from my previous classes, children rarely understand this lesson. It is very simple, but still children do not try to understand this. They do not try to read it and understand by themselves. Still, I'll try to explain you so that you can understand well. Just look into the book and underline the sentences where I tell you to underline. Okay, then take a pencil in your hand, then start now. To begin with, there is one proverb: honesty is the best policy. Do you agree? Discuss in pair. So honesty, what is honesty? So is it a best policy? You have to make a pair with your friends and you have to discuss with your friend. Starting first para. When can it be said that a particular action is moral? It's a question to you. In asking with this question, the intention is not the contrast moral with immoral actions, but to consider many of our everyday actions against which nothing can be said from the conventional standpoint and which some regard as moral. So, when the author has said that moral action, what is moral action? He doesn't say it that it is in contrast as against to the immoral action. You can never say that something is immoral just because it is not moral. So many times it happens that some works, though it is not moral, you cannot consider it is immoral. It can be non-moral. So most of our actions are probably non-moral. So he has said most of our actions are probably non-moral. They do not necessarily involve morality. So there is no moral nor not even immoral. So it stands in the middle. Not moral, not even immoral. So many of us, most 90% of the people do some actions that is we cannot consider it is moral or we cannot consider it is immoral. So we can say it according to Gandhiji, it is a non-moral action. For the most part, we act according to the prevailing convention. Convention is the tradition, customs, as the society is used to this type of behavior, societal behavior. So this has become a convention. So as they do, we too do. So this has become convention. As it has become convention, we don't try to go against the convention. Such conventional behavior is often necessary. If no such rules are observed, anarchy would be the result, and social intercourse would be an end. Still, the mere observance of custom and usage cannot properly be called morality. So, what Mahatma Gandhi ji trying to say is, see, we cannot always stick to the convention, the tradition, the customs. We cannot just stick to it, because we cannot just come out of the it. He doesn't mean that we should come out of this convention, traditions and customs. What he wants to say is, if we don't follow these conventions and traditions and customs, there would be anarchy. People will start doing their own, and there will be no morality. There will be no morality, and the society will end up in anarchy. So there is a necessity of a social intercourse. So, what is social intercourse? Social intercourse is where there is a societal associations. These associations are necessary for the public or the society, so that there should not be any anarchy or chaos. Coming to the next para, a moral act must be our own act. As I said here, a moral act must be of our own act, must spring from our own will. It should come from our own heart. It should spring from our own will. If we act mechanically, there is no moral content in our act. Such action would be moral if we think it proper to act like a machine to do so. For in doing so, we use our discrimination. We should bear in mind the distinction between acting mechanically and acting intentionally. It may be moral of a king to pardon a culprit, but the messenger bearing the order of pardon plays only a mechanical part in the king's moral act. But if the messenger were to bear the king's order, considering it to be his duty, his action would be a moral act. Now, till here, what M.K. Gandhi wants to convince is, see, moral action should come from our own heart, from our own will. If we act mechanically, you cannot call it a moral action. So, sometimes what happens, we go to temple, and when we see there, some people will be begging. Sometimes what happens, some people will be giving this thing, forget about begging. Now we'll take, there will be a box, right? Dakshine box you call it, for donation. There will be a donation box, and usually you just put something in the box, some money in the box, some more or less. Why you do that? Why you do it? You do it mechanically. You don't do it with your own will, with your own intention. There is no intention. There is no moral action in putting or giving some donation in that box. Instead of giving like that, putting some money in the donation, you can just give it to some poor people. You can help some poor people with the intention that your money should give some food to the other person. So, what he wants to say, he has given one example here. It may be moral of a king to pardon a culprit. Okay, the king pardons a culprit, thinking good of the culprit. He pardons him. He pardons his guilt, and but the messenger bearing the order of pardon plays only a mechanical part in the king's moral action. So, king has done a moral action. Okay, now the messenger, or you can say a sainika, you can say it a soldier or a assistant in the king's office. Then he takes the message of pardoning a culprit, saying that you your guilt is pardoned, so you are you are free to go out. So if the messenger takes this message to the culprit, then with the intention, his own intention, that okay, he has pardoned the culprit, I too intend this may help that person, this message will help that person. So if his intention, the messenger's intention is like this, then his action would be moral. If he thinks that it is good on my part that I am taking this message, he thinks that it is his duty to take this message to the culprit about his pardon, then his action is moral. But if he takes the message just that king has pardoned and he has to take this message to the culprit, no, it is not a moral action, it is a non-moral action. Coming to next, how can a man understand morality who does not use his own intelligence and power of thought, but lets himself be swept along like a log of wood by a current? So beautifully said here. So you cannot think of a moral action. You are thinking as if you are a wood on the water, in a current, a flowing water. Water is flowing and you are a wood. When the wood is fallen on the water, with the current it goes. So as like yourself, if you go with the society, go with the what thinking that what others will think if I go against this, though your intention is good, if you think like that, no, you are wrong. It is not a moral action. You should think of good, of doing something good, not just doing because the society requires you to do this action. Then only if you do by your own intention, by your own will of doing good, then only your action can be called as a moral action. Then sometimes a man defies convention and acts on his own with a view to doing absolute good. Such a great hero was Wendell Phillips. Underline this, Wendell Phillips. So, addressing an assembly of people, he once said, who said? Wendell Phillips has said, till you learn to form your own opinions and express them, till you learn to form, underline this whole sentence, till you learn to form your own opinions and express them, I do not care much what you think of me. So, what you think of me is, if it is not your own opinion, I don't care what you say. Okay, this is said by Wendell Phillips. What he is emphasizing is you should have your own opinion, thinking that whatever he is doing is right or wrong. It should be, there should be a intention, a good intention, just not intention, there should be a good intention, and that good intention should be of your own. Thus, when we all care only for what our conscience says, then alone we can be regarded to have stepped onto the moral road. So our conscience should tell what we are doing is a good or wrong, or right or wrong. We shall not reach this stage as long as we do not believe and experience the belief that God within us, the God of all, is the ever-present witness to all our acts. So ultimately in the end he has said, so we cannot come to know, we cannot think of doing good unless and until we start thinking that there is a God within us. And God is always watching over us, and everything is recorded. Whatever we are doing is recorded by God. So if we think like that, then we are in the correct path. We are in a moral action. If we are not thinking that God is not watching, we are our own boss, then we are, whatever we are doing is not moral action. It is said that whatever we think, God comes to know. God just according to Wendell Phillips, what God is telling, what God knows is we don't know by ourselves. And our intention of doing good is should be good, it should be correct. If the path may be different, or maybe you whatever road you have taken, maybe other way path, but the intention matters, and not our actual actions. So whatever, sometimes you in your own actions in your day to day life, most of the times most of the people just do something, their intention was to do good, but it ends up in doing something else. But the intention, what Wendell tells is, intention is matters, intention matters of any moral action, not your what ends up, it does not matter. So read this, it is only 2 paragraph. So read this, if you read at least 3 times, no, you will get to know what MK Gandhi wants to tell you. So be ready to read. I have done only 2 paragraphs, so please read these 2 paragraphs thoroughly. Till then, till I take you on next paras, take care and namaste.